Rumba is essentially a party, or at least that's how it originated. The Afro-Cubans used to use the term rumba to mean party. It wasn't until later that the word transformed into what we know today as the Cuban musical genre and style of dance associated with it. Today, rumba is used as a generic term to describe multiple musical rhythms and paired dances. In this hybrid of music and dance, there's an element of improvisation, both in vocals and rhythm. In the end, producing a cohesive combination of music, dance, and poetry, uniquely exclusive to Afro-Cuban culture.
This musical form incorporates both African and Spanish elements. Its African influences are most apparent in its syncopated rhythms. However, the musical framework is primarily based in the traditions of Spanish music. The rumba styles are derived from Spanish melodies, patterns, and instrumentation from Spanish music and dance forms such as seguidillas, copla, baterinas, and jotas. Rumba came about through Spanish colonialization and the Atlantic slave trade in Cuba. This event in history created a blending of cultures uniting both African and Spanish cultures. This blending can be seen in Santeria, a religion that combines aspects from both Catholicism and traditional African religions. The practice of rumba can be tracked back to slaves' religious rituals in Santeria, specifically its dance steps, rhythms, and instruments.
In rumba's early years, it was not widely accepted by the Cuban population. It was discouraged for its primal and sexual nature. Because of its lack of support and popularity, it was not performed in the public sphere, but instead it persisted through private events. In the 1920s and 1930s, a movement known as Afro-Cubanism began and helped move rumba into acceptance. This movement supported African-rooted culture and its integration into Cuban culture. Rumba soon became a recognized cultural expression of Cuban people. It also gave the Afro-Cuban population some expression for their identity, specifically, something that incorporated both sides that they identify with, giving some recognition to the African culture in Cuba, and not just the dominant European culture.
Today, rumba dance consists of 3 different styles. There is the yambu, the guanguanco, and the Colombia. Of the 3, yambu is the oldest style, dating back to the colonial period. It has the slowest tempo, and its dance movements appear frail and weak. As such, it has become known as the old people's rumba. Yambu is usually performed by women and can be danced with or without a partner. The second form of rumba, guanguanco, references a narrative song style from the late 19th and 20th centuries. This style is very sexual and performed by couples. Its style depicts a sexual competition in which the male partner, playing the role of a rooster, tries to catch the female counterpart acting as a hen, but in the end does not usually succeed in his chase. The third and fastest style of rumba, Colombia, was originally danced solely by men. This style originates from the drum patterns and chants of the religious Cuban Abacua drum patterns and chants. The drum patterns of the lowest conga drum is essentially the same in both Colombia and Abacua as well. As a whole, rumba has been influenced by both Spanish and African cultures, simultaneously representing the 2 dominating peoples of Cuba. Today, many aspects of the rumba, including its rhythms, have made its way into other types of music, such as country, blues, rock, and pop. Over time, rumba has varied in style with its instrumentation and dance, but still remains as the ultimate expression of the Afro-Cuban way of life for all generations.